Hello, Singapore. My name is Louis. I'm the co-founder and CEO of AI Square. And if you've been watching the news lately, you've been seeing a narrative about the cutting edge. Everything that you see about AI, super powerful models. What I see is a story about power, but not necessarily a story about control. And this narrative has inspired me to start this company called AI Square. All right. The truth is that AI is everywhere. You see it in the news, you see it on TV, but it's not where it matters the most. What I mean by that is that the industries that run the world, infrastructure, logistics, critical infrastructure, they never completed their digital transformation. They still run on legacy, and even if they could run the best possible model, there's the question of sovereignty. If you can't deploy it yourself, it's not your AI. So in order to tackle this problem, we knew that we had to build using a radical different approach. So we built those industrial solver models, ISMs. They need first to be able to understand the world in 3D. You can feed it images, CAD, floor plans, BIM, you name it. It's going to create a representation of its understanding of the facility you want to tackle. Once it understands the world or the facility, it can generate designs that you can build. What I mean by that is you've seen models like Midjourney that are able to produce astonishing pictures. Our approach is, how about designing a data center, a factory, a new terminal in an airport that a construction company can use that output to start building today. And once you have created your facility, you can operate in real time by plugging your SCADA, your IoT, your security footage, and interrogate the space. LLMs are intelligence based on text. We provide intelligence based on space. This isn't science fiction. It's already solving real-world problems, and our story actually started in Singapore, where Changi Airport Group was the very first agency to award us a contract. So this is technology built for the edge, but we scale in the cloud. So we're part of the AWS startup program, and since we're essentially selling sovereignty, we can use technologies such as SageMaker to provide AI insights where the decisions are made, rather than where the GPUs live in the cloud. And all the contributions that our customer teams add by using the technology is then used to retrain a refined model in the cloud on the EC2 instance. And this newer refined model is only for that customer. It never benefits their competitors. We are executing this using a business model that is pilot to conversion. We're on track to reach 1 million in annual recurring by October. So far, we have 12 enterprise clients in Japan, Singapore, and the US. And we had 250K inference cycles from the edge to the cloud. Our sales method is that we sell to system integrators so that we don't need to build a beefy sales team directly in-house. We're able to convert 40% of the pilots that we start, and each deployment generates over 130,000 of annual recurring per site. This is a very interesting market because this new technology is at the crossroads between CAD software, automation, IoT, and there's a dual use case with the defense industry. We're looking at over $110 billion market, and we think that we can get $29 billion on that market in the next 8 years. This was made possible because we've assembled a team with deep execution experience, 5 exits across 3 continents, and we recently shared our story on YouTube 2 weeks ago, and we already have 1 year's worth of watch time generated during that time. So the world is listening to what we're doing. Our seed round is not open yet, but we're going to be targeting $5 million for our go-to-market to grow the team and to reinvest in the product as well. One very important point is that everything that you've seen today, we own the full technology stack except the infrastructure layer provided by AWS. This allows us to remain independent, be sovereign ourselves, since at a high level, that's exactly what we sell. Thank you very much. That was it for AI Square.
Love what you're doing. Just very quick question. How is it different from existing digital twin solution? What would be the true differentiator in that way?
Okay, so the true difference is that in the digital twin, you essentially need to hire people with that deep expertise with Autodesk's technology. What we're providing is the ability for people who have no experience in that field to generate a design that a construction company can build right now. If I give you an example of the data center problem, this morning on the stage, people were talking about every 6 months we need to double the compute. We're partnering with some of the major data center providers here in Singapore who are now looking at Malaysia, Thailand to build the next infrastructure. And the technology allows to compress the inception phase where they're thinking about how they're going to do it to how they're going to build, actually building it and operating the site. All done using generative AI.
Hi, just wanted to check what are some of the most compelling use cases so far, and which industries are you prioritizing?
The most compelling use cases are in the critical infrastructure and in the automotive sector as well. So we operate based off Japan, which is a perfect starting point for the adoption of this technology, as they use a lot of legacy systems. So in the port operations of automotive manufacturers, they're able to load in the floor plan of the ships that they need to load with containers. And they use Excel spreadsheets with the information about the containers. And generatively, we are proposing the most optimized layout to manage the uncertainty. And in critical infrastructure like airports, which is currently our bread and butter, what we're looking at is revealing hidden intelligence that the clients had all along. Talking about certain types of sensors that can tell you a much bigger story about what's going on in your infrastructure. So there have been some cases in the past years of human errors with aircrafts being on the runways and accidents being caused by that. And now we're able to tell air traffic control automatically without them having to install any new critical infrastructure, that with 99.9% certainty, there's something wrong on the runway before any incident happens. And that fits in their strategy of digitalizing without necessarily having to replace the whole infrastructure.